Hi Gemini, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com, and this is your monthly forecast for October 2014. Geminians, we begin the month with a Mercury retrograde that is there for most of the October. We then have a total lunar eclipse which is conjuncting Uranus, and we wrap up the month with the beautiful Venus as she enters Scorpio. We begin the month with the Mercury retrograde, and that begins from 4th of October and it carries on till 25th of October. That's about 3 months. Mercury drill, as you all know, it's not a time to be buying big ticket items, especially electronics. It's not a great time to be buying laptops, computers, phones, be it your latest favorite iPhone that has got launched, be it a car. Any heavy ticket or a big ticket item is not to be bought during a Mercury retrograde. It is found that post the transit, the Mercury retrograde transit that happens, that you may find an offer which is far more better, or you could find a technical glitch. So for those of you who must buy, ensure that you have all your receipts and your warranties in place while you're doing the purchases. For those of you who are traveling, it's a good time to be checking all your tickets, your schedules. You can expect delays of flight delays to be there. There can be some amount of chaos during travel as well. For those of you who drive, ensure that your cars and your bikes are serviced, and that you don't get stuck up at an odd place with a flat tire. Ensure that you're carrying all the required documents, papers as well. For those of you who deal with communications a lot or are in the service industry, be extremely careful as far as your spoken and written communication is concerned. Mercury also rules the lower mind. That is how it is that we perceive our environment, and then how it is that we further relate it to others. So everything around us gets affected. Now during the year, either 3 or sometimes even 4 times this aspect happens, when the entire slowdown or the retrograde happens. Technically speaking, of course, no planet really comes back on its orbit, or even slows down for that matter, but it is from stationary retrograde cycle planets. When we are viewing it, or transits, when we're viewing it from the Earth, it's just an illusion that makes us feel as though the planet is slowed down, or that it's coming back. Also, Earth is moving at its own speed around the sun, on its own orbit. It's a different speed from the rest of the planet, so it just makes the illusion as though Mercury has slowed down and it is moved back. The Mercury, besides your travel and communication, it is also the perception of what it is that people are telling you, and how it is that you're deciphering that information. So don't be shy of seeking clarity, Geminians. Even if it is something really small and you feel, oh, I have understood, I don't need to be taking any clarity, ensure that you sort of make that effort to seek clarity and keep it simple. Keep the communication, conversations very simple, very brief, and you can be rest assured that you won't get much affected by the Mercury retrograde. Now we have for you, this is affecting a part of your chart that has to do with children. It has to do with creativity, and it has to do with love as well, to a certain extent. And Mercury retrograde is a time of rewinding and revising. So it's a time wherein that you could be playfully creative, if only you do not try and steer it forcefully into a particular direction. If you just let it take its own course, you can be happy, and you can be assured knowing that yes, there is going to be a lot of playful creativity that is going to be there. Don't expect, however, to follow a fixed track or a rigidity as far as creativity is concerned, because it will require that much more effort on your behalf to reach a solution, or to find a solution to a certain thing. So just let it take its own course, lead you. Don't be rigid, be flexible, just flow with it where it is. Also, try not to follow a certain pattern, and don't be surprised that by the end of it, after taking all the detours and going over maybe routes that you had not planned, or normally routes that you don't take while reaching a solution. And this has to do, again, it can be something that you're thinking about your children, or maybe it's about a relationship, maybe it's simply about creativity at your work. If you don't try and force it, and if you just let things be this month, Geminins, the answers, you will be surprised at the outcome of it. So just enjoy the inconveniences that you face along the way, and try not to be sort of too rigid in following a certain pattern of saying that no, this is how it is done and this is the only way that I can get results. This is not the month for you to be doing that. We have a total lunar eclipse that is happening, and that's there on the 8th of October, and this is happening in a part of your chart that has to do with groups of people, it has to do with higher learning, and it has to do with little bit of travel as well. The Uranian energy, unfortunately, Uranus as a planet has quite a bad reputation. It is known for unpredictability, creating chaos, coming and disrupting our lives, and not generally behaving himself. And the Uranian energy also is lesser known for its courage and unconventionality, and also inspiration to a certain extent. In fact, all the newer technology per se is ruled, it's a very Uranian, it's a very dynamic energy, it's ruled by Uranus. And for you, it's happening in a part of your chart where it's as asking you to draw a balance as far as your personal, and this energy, the conjunct total lunar eclipse with the Uranus, is all about drawing balances, and it's also about freedom. So you need to be, two things need to be done, that don't get too caught up in your own personal patterned life, that my set of friends, my way of doing this, I only go over here and do this. Try and broaden your mind, try and go out and meet new people. Try and reach out to your friends, maybe whom you have not spoken like maybe for years. Try and widen your network of people. Try and draw a balance between your personal and your professional life, so that you are not worried too much about what the world thinks of you. Oh, how is it that the networking society is thinking of you, and that you start neglecting people who are closest to you and people who matter to you the most. So very critical for you. It is like walking on a very, very tight rope, Geminins, this month, but with a little bit of an effort and loads of patience, I'm sure that you will, most of you will get to it. It's an opportunity wherein that you can show your love by being available. I think a lot of times by in friendships we are just not available for our friends. We get so caught up in our own personal lives, in our own personal drama, that we forget to be available for our friends. Geminins, towards the end of the month, we have Venus that is going to be moving in Scorpio. Now, Venus as a planet is known for love, beauty and sex, and even money. And Scorpio, of course, is known for its intensity, sexuality, sensuality, and a lot of intimacy as well. What Scorpio also is known for is its spirituality and sensitivity. Now, when Venus moves into Scorpio towards the end of the month, it's highlighting a part of your chart that has to do with your day-to-day chores. It has to do with your health. It also has to do with your work to a certain extent. Now, Venus in this part of your chart, Geminins, indicates that your expressions of love and affection are going to be quite practical, and being of service to a partner is especially of great importance to you around this point of time, and this begins towards the last week of October. In fact, you might also go to great lengths to do some small chores or small stuff for your loved one. That is the way that you will be expressing your love. So there will not be any some flowery speeches being made or great proclamations of love, but you will be making yourself available, which is, I think, was just what we were speaking about before this. Many of you, however, would be, for those of you who are good at design or are generally creative, you will be spending a lot of time trying to either find a hobby or something which is very close to your heart, in which you can accentuate your hobby or your talent more further, and you're going to be generally seeking harmony and peace at your home. They can also be more smoothness as far as your day-to-day chores are concerned, and you could find that things are running at your home in a more there's a general smoothness to way the thing or life is functioning on a daily basis. So You, however, will also enjoy doing or getting your hands dirty. So be it, some of you could just be enjoying cleaning up your entire house and getting ready for the winters, and doing a complete cleanup of the wardrobes, and just making your house more beautiful, doing more practical stuff around the house. Some of you who are good with your hands could just be busy making something in your house, constructing something, and doing a little bit of carpentering on your own. If you're for those of you, however, in this entire house of practicality and your day-to-day functioning, try, for those of you who are single and who are looking for love, try not to miss the opportunity to find a potential love interest, and settle for somebody who's more practical. So you may not really be in a mood to take risks, emotional risks romantically at this point of time as well, Geminians. You will want to be, you would want to swim on the safer side. You wouldn't be in a mood to really explore and take any emotional risks as well. However, try not to sell yourself short, because that is also something. You may just feel that, oh, he or she is really not somebody whom you deserve, or is really far out of your reach. But try not to think so less of yourself. You never know, maybe the other person could just show some interest in you. So a great month for you, Geminians. Have a lovely October. I'll see you again in November. Thank you so much.